Whoa, I've been drinking too much for sure.
What's up, NYJohn here. I'm casting this matchup of the Fnatic Raidcall Dota 2 Cup number 5. This is going to be Bomber Squad versus Virtus Pro. We watched Virtus Pro 2 games earlier. This is the 4th round, by the way. And they were looking very decisive in both of their victories. One victory coming within like 15 minutes or so. The second one coming within 21 minutes. So we'll see if they can continue that trend. Meanwhile, Bomber Squad, we watched our last game, and they look pretty strong as well, able to take down Outrageous Cats and move on to this match.
5 seconds remaining.
We'll see some bans already underway. It looks like the Radiant Squad took out Darkseer as well as Nagasiren, while the Dire took out Lycan and Chen. The final ban from the Radiant is going to be Nature's Prophet, and the Dire will take out with their final ban. I could take out Brood, Leshrac, Invoker, Tinker, Lone Druid. It's going to be Lone Druid. And now the first pick for the Radiant. What do they want to go with? They went with Invoker? No. Last time they did not use Invoker. They can go with Leshrac here. They played a very aggressive pushing lineup. But same can be said about Virtus Pro in their last matchup too. So very aggressive lineups featured from both teams. And we'll see who's going to get the better of that in this one. If someone wants to try and gear their lineup more so for the late game. Actually, both teams also used an Animage already today in an aggressive capacity, so interesting little tidbit.
5 seconds remaining.
Invoker with the first pick, so
Dire team
good pickup for Bomber Squad, and we'll see how Virtus Pro want to respond. I assume Leshrac plus somebody. Could be Leshrac Enigma, could be Leshrac Brood. There's the Brood pick. And it's going to be Leshrac. So, Leshrac Brood, 2 really strong pushing options, of course. And this is going to be similar to what Virtus Pro did last time. Now they're going to think about running that aggressive try again. Now 2 picks from the Radiant team. What do they want to go for? Excuse me for a moment. Check out the brackets again. Let's see. If you guys have been with me for a while and haven't already, if you want to go on Reddit and go ahead and upvote my little post there about me casting, that would be very much so appreciated and pretty effortless. So thanks in advance for anyone that did that already or is going to do it. Meanwhile, we have 2 bans, or 2 picks rather, coming out for Bomber Squad. Is going to be Sand King plus.
Radiant team pick.
Not sure. We have seen Sand King solo a lot today. A lot of teams trying to use that kind of farming Sand King to get really strong and going on early. Virtus Pro already did it once. Another team tried to do it once, and he got blown up. Sand King got blown up. Actually, Virtus Pro blew up a Sand King once. So, Shadow Demon 2. So, Invoker is definitely going to be Exhort. As Sand King and Shadow Demon, 2 of the best heroes to set up that Sunstrike combo for him. Now the final pickup for Virtus Pro before the break. Do they want to go for the jungler here? They're going to pick up Tide here. So Tide, Leshrac,
Team ban.
they may not be running an aggressive try then. Or they could be using... I don't think they'll use Tide as a solo mid. It has happened before, but probably unlikely. So maybe a little bit of a different setup from Virtus Pro. They're not going to take anything for granted. This is round 4, so the competition is beginning to intensify. And the Fnatic Raidcall Dota 2 Cup number 5, the prize is $500. So $500 for a 2-day cup. A really nice prize. And of course, VP want to get their hands on that money. Death Prophet going to be banned out by the Radiant.
Team
The response is Enigma ban out from the Dire. Now the final ban for Bomber Squad. They used Death Prophet last game. They decided to ban her out this one. No spot for her in the lineup. It's a little bit difficult. There's 2 very open squads on the team right now. Leshrac could be carry, he could be support, Tide could be long lane solo. They could feature Brood in the tri lane if they wanted. So it's a little bit more difficult to pick out exactly what the teams are going to go for or what they want to ban out. Morph can be taken out just because he is a hassle to deal with. A very strong hero. He's always an option for ban.
5 seconds remaining.
Beastmaster is an option for the Dire if they want to take out some of those long lanes.
Reserve
Windrunner. But the Radiant are still sitting on their final ban. Unsure of what they want to take out. They're in the reserve time. 45 seconds. They take down Chaos Knight. So we've seen him abandon a lot of games today. More so than usual. And definitely offers that early game aggression, but a lot of teams unable to make the most out of a Chaos Knight. So interesting to see. And Windrunner is the ban for the Dire. Take out the long laner. That's one of the safer bans for them. Now, pick for the Radiant team. What do they want to go with? With their fourth selection, Shadow Demon going to be a support for sure. Sand King could be that carry role that we see sometimes. Semi-carry, rather, initiator that they put farm on. So do they want to get another support here? Do they want to pick up the only jungler in Enchantress? Couple options.
5 seconds remaining.
Like I said, Morphling is still in the pool. Tinker is available.
Reserve time.
I'd expect to see Tinker, Morphling, or maybe Venomancer here. Venomancer gives a lot of good lane control early on in the game. I'm surprised we haven't seen him picked up yet today, I believe, which is really different than what is the norm from the past couple days. We've been seeing Venomancer so often, like a staple of lineups. Complexity, love that Venomancer. And Morphling is going to be the pick. Now, response from Virtus Pro. Lich right off the bat. They have run a Lich already. Gives them a lot of utility. They can do that duo mid. They can also have a successful duo in the long lane if they want to. Now the final pick for Bomber Squad. What do they want to round up the roster with? They're going to need another support probably. Morphling, Shadow Demon, if they want to run Sand King on the long lane. But Sand King on the long lane is not a safe, guaranteed bet. He matches up against Brood well, but Brood, of course, we've seen a Brood already beat a Sand King once. If Brood gets a strong enough start,
10 seconds remaining.
it's still difficult to cope with.
5 seconds remaining.
So they want another support. I think Venomancer and Crystal Maiden are the two on the table. They could always go for the Enchantress if they want to pick up the jungle,
10 seconds remaining.
but then they'd be leaving Morphling alone. They're going to pick up Lina. So Lina, a good option because of the double nuke. She can ward off some of those pushes from the Broodmother, and also just output a lot of damage onto all these heroes. And Riki is the final pick from VP. So wow, we get to see Ariki Maru, Riki, Tide, Leshrac. So Leshrac may be solo mid, or Tide may be. Interesting. Wonder how they're actually going to line this up. It could be Lich, Riki in the middle lane too, Tide in the long lane, or Brood in the long lane, and then Tide, Lesh. Wow. A lot of options for Virtus Pro. We're about to get into this when we have a DC, so a quick pause coming out. I'm NYJohn. This is our fourth game of the day. We're in round 4 of Fnatic Raidcall, Dota 2 Cup number 5. Very kind of them to let me cast these games today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Shoutcaster over at gofordota.com. You can check them out. We do weekly cups, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday. So be sure to sign up for those too. But right now we're in the Fnatic Raidcall Cup for $500. Winner takes all. This is day 1. I believe there's only 5 rounds in day 1. I can check out the brackets to make sure. Yeah, it looks like 5 rounds in day 1. So we may only have 1 or 2 more matches coming up, and then call it quits for the day. I'll go over the lineups while we have this pause. For the Dire team, we have VP. It's going to be Can't Defeat Airman playing that Riki. We have Wolfgang on Broodmother, NS playing Leshrac, McDeath on Tide, and Rav War on Lich. And for the Radiant, it's going to be Wamsley on Invoker. We have Valmore on Sand King, Got to Be Me on Shadow Demon, Cairo TV on Morphling, and that leaves us Tyre on whoever the last hero is. I can't quite remember. Thunderstorm. Oh, Lina. Tyre's going to be on Lina. So the call is there's a thunderstorm, so he lost his power, so he has to reset, of course. Computer and internet, it's going to take a while to reset if that is what's going on with him. So I'm going to rest my breath for a minute. Thank you for tuning in, and let's be patient while we sit through this pause. Hopefully we'll get into things sooner than later. Unless his power is off entirely. Maybe it didn't just flick on and off. Well, we'll see how this discussion progresses and where we end up. Stay tuned. Hopefully we have a match coming up soon.